let me say this another way, okay? At the end of the 70th week, right, at the end of the Great Tribulation, a people named Israel are going to believe on the Messiah, okay? And, it also talks about that in Zechariah, the book of Zechariah, and there's a 1/3 of them that's a remnant, okay, that believes on the Messiah. And look, is believing on the Messiah spiritual? Of course it is, okay? Now, a people named Israel go through the tribulation and eventually believe on the Messiah, okay? 1/3 of them. The other 2/3 are killed. Now, a people named Israel believing on the Messiah, which is a spiritual thing. Well, it sounds like they're spiritual Israel, okay? And that spiritual Israel has to go through the 70th week of Daniel, okay? And look, at the end of the 70th week, when Jesus Christ comes and rescues them from getting slaughtered, he's coming with his saints, which is the church, okay? Because we're different. And during the rapture, Jesus Christ rescues his church out of the world. And at his second coming, he rescues, the true Israel that believes on him, okay, from destruction. Okay, it's different. And when he comes and rescues Israel, the church is coming with him. Okay, see him rescue Israel. And remembering that during the rapture, we meet Jesus in the clouds, and his feet do not touch the Mount of Olives because he's in the clouds. During his second coming, his feet is going to, touch down on the Mount of Olives, and he's going forth to do battle. Okay, and during the rapture, there's no battle, but during his second coming, and it's called the second coming because it's the second time he comes to Israel. Okay, first time they rejected him as the Messiah overall. The second time, they're going to get saved. Now, behold, the day of Zechariah 14, behold, the day of the Lord cometh, thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. And half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then the Lord shall go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east and toward the west. And there shall be a great valley, a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azel. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah king of Judah, and the Lord my God shall come, and with all the saints with thee. Now, again, if you think the church is Israel or spiritual Israel. Again, let me point out, it's spiritual to believe on the Messiah, okay? And if you think that, that the church is Israel, you're going to have to think that the church goes through the 70th week of Daniel, the Great Tribulation. And you're going to have to think that the church is here about to get slaughtered. And God's going to come and rescue, you. And he's coming with some saints that you think aren't the church. Doesn't make any sense. Okay. The church is not Israel. Israel is not the church.